And away we go.
The high table wants your life. Tell me what you want.
Passage. $14 million bounty on his head. And everyone in the city wants a piece of it.
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3,
2,
1.
The movie opens with John Wick running on New York streets. The bounty on John Wick's head is now $14 million.
John Wick, excommunicado.
Injured but determined, John moves through a busy street, each step filled with pain and urgency. People and cars crowd the streets, making his journey even harder. Meanwhile, Winston returns to the Continental Hotel and heads straight to the front desk. The receptionist greets him, and they discuss John and the growing danger he faces.
I do hope that Mr. Wick finds his way to safety.
$14 million bounty on his head. Every interested party in the city wants a piece of it.
Winston clearly worries about John, but he can do little to help. Desperate for a safe place, John hails a taxi, gives the driver directions, but soon gets stuck in heavy traffic. With no other choice, he leaves his dog with the driver, steps out, and heads to a nearby library.
The Continental. Can you see that he's received by the concierge? Good dog.
Inside the quiet, dimly lit space, he approaches the receptionist and asks for a book. She nods and directs him to the second floor, where he finally finds the one he's looking for. Inside, he discovers a hidden compartment containing a photo, several gold coins, and pendants. These items are essential for his survival and next steps. An assassin comes to finish John, but John overpowers him and kills him. As John leaves the library, he feels a renewed sense of purpose. The memory of his wife and the resources he found give him the strength to press on, even as the world closes in around him. He steps back onto the bustling street, determined to survive and honor the promise he made to himself and his wife's memory. Soon, he reaches a doctor for help, but the doctor warns him that his time is up and he shouldn't be there. John insists on getting treatment, offering a gold coin for help. The doctor quickly grabs his medical supplies, moving with practiced efficiency.
No, I can't. I still have 5 minutes. Please. All right, sit there.
John's breathing is heavy, his face pale from pain and blood loss. His time has run out. The doctor finishes treating his wound, but knows he can't do anything more. The strict rules of the underworld forbid anyone from helping him since he's excommunicated. The doctor steps back, looking at John with a mix of concern and resignation, telling him he can't offer more assistance. Just as John prepares to leave, the doctor urgently asks him to wait. He explains that if the High Table learns he helped John, they'll come after him. To avoid suspicion, he asks John to shoot him. Not fatally, just enough to make it appear that he was forced and injured. This way, he can claim John forced his way in. John does as requested, and the doctor gasps in pain.
Be sure not to hit my leg. One may not be enough. Be sure not to graze my car.
John leaves, moving swiftly and carefully through the dark streets. His shoulder throbs, but he knows he can't stop. He needs to stay ahead of his pursuers. As he weaves through the city, he spots a group of men trailing him. John quickly scans the area, looking for a spot to hide or defend himself. He spots a back room and dashes towards it, locking the door behind him. He grabs the gun, checks it, but finds it empty. Searching frantically, he discovers a small box of bullets on a nearby table. With shaky hands, he loads the gun, bracing himself for the inevitable confrontation. John arrives at a shop, where a girl informs him it's closed. He shows her the pendants from the library, and she lets him in. Meanwhile, a suspicious man observes John's actions. Inside, John places everything he found from the book on a table in front of a group of people. One man then leads John to an auditorium, where a girl is dancing for a female director. John approaches the director, asking for help. She invites him to her room and explains that, although she wants to help him, She cannot because the High Table wants him dead. John insists on her help, reminding her that it's his right as he trained there. He demands that she send him safely to Casablanca.
Where did you want to go?
Casablanca.
Meanwhile, the High Table Mafia sends an adjudicator to meet Winston. She has come to address the serious matter of John Wick breaking the sacred rules of the Continental. The adjudicator asks Winston to take her to see Santino's dead body. Santino, who had placed a bounty on John's head, was killed by John within the Continental, violating the hotel's strict rule against doing business on its grounds. She asks Winston why he didn't take action against John, even though John broke the Continental's rules. She accuses Winston of giving John an hour to escape, pointing out that he's known John for a long time, but still didn't intervene. The adjudicator tells Winston he has 1 week to resolve the issue and secure his position.
This is exactly the problem. Your hotel. Where is your fealty? Let me be clear. I am here to adjudge you. You have 1 week to get your affairs in order.
Next, the adjudicator finds the Bowery King in his hidden lair with his followers and reminds him that he also helped John escape, breaking the High Table's rules. Her tone is unforgiving as she orders him to leave within a week to clear his position, warning of serious consequences if he doesn't comply.
You gave John Wick 7 bullets. The High Table is giving you 7 days. In 7 days, you abdicate your throne.
Meanwhile, John arrives in Casablanca, where he meets his old friend, Sophia Al-Azwar, also part of the underworld. John asks for her help, but she refuses. John reminds Sophia that she had a marker with John Wick in the past, which means Sophia has to return the favor. Sophia agrees to help. John tells her that he wants to meet the Elder at any cost because the Elder is the most senior member of the High Table and its management. John wants to remove the death warrants issued against him by the High Table. Sophia takes John to a local contract killer Barada who knows the address of the Elder. The contract killer tells them that the Elder can be found in the middle of the desert. He then demands something in return for the information. Sophia asks what he wants, and he replies that he wants her dogs because they are highly trained. Sophia, who loves her dogs very much, refuses and he shoots the dog. In retaliation, Sophia shoots Barada, and the duo fight their way out of the Casbah and flee into the desert. John and Sophia reach the desert. Sophia tells John that he is about to face death. Either in that desert or on some unknown, St. John returns the marker to Sophia, signaling that her task is complete. Now alone, John continues his journey through the desert. The adjudicator moves to the Bowery King and informs him that she had instructed him to surrender, but he has not complied. She reminds him that he provided 7 bullets to John, so he must now receive 7 injuries. The adjudicator orders her fighter Hunter to stab the Bowery King with a sword. Meanwhile, John lies unconscious in the desert when a man with a camel arrives. When John opens his eyes, he finds himself in the area of the Elder. The Elder asks him how he got lost in the desert. John replies that he is not lost but trying to find him. The Elder tells John that if he completes a task for him, he will remove the death warrants against him. He requests that John kill Winston. Shocked, John agrees. As a sign of his commitment, John cuts off his finger and gives the ring to the Elder.
The first of which will be the man they call Winston. This is the choice you must make.
I will, sir.
John reaches New York with the agenda to kill Winston. His arrival does not go unnoticed. Members of a ruthless mafia group, known as Zero's Men, spot John and move into attack. They are skilled fighters intent on earning the reward for capturing or killing him. John, however, is prepared. He anticipates their moves and swiftly counters their assault inside a crowded area. With quick reflexes and precise strikes, he disables his attackers one by one. The confrontation spills out onto the street, where John faces a new threat. Before the second motorcyclist can react, John draws a concealed weapon and fires, bringing the pursuit to a sudden halt. Seizing the opportunity, John throttles the motorbike and speeds away from the scene. John tells Karen that he wants to meet Winston, but Zio want to kill him until Karen stops him. Karen arranges for them to sit together on a sofa. John gets up and settles on another sofa. Zero expresses his admiration for John, mentioning that he has wanted to meet him for a long time and is a big fan. Suddenly, John's dog approaches him. Zero remarks to John that they are alike, but John denied it. Karen informs John that Winston is prepared to meet him. John proceeds to meet with Winston. Winston acknowledges that John is there to kill him and has taken the contract from the Elder. They are in discussion when the adjudicator arrives and instructs John to fulfill the contract he has been given. However, John chooses not to kill Winston. The adjudicator becomes angry and makes a call, announcing that the Continental Hotel is no longer part of the underworld. He declares that the underworld's rules no longer hold, allowing anyone to kill anyone else.
Will you be putting a bullet in his head?
No.
The Continental Hotel, New York. Deconsecrated. High table emissaries will be joining you presently to see the removal of your souls from the property.
The news spreads to all the assassins worldwide. A team of commandos summoned by the adjudicator enters the Continental Hotel with the sole mission of eliminating John and Winston. A huge fight erupts between different factions. The adjudicator meets with Winston. During their talk, John arrives. Winston agrees to cooperate with the adjudicator and the high table. In return, she tells Winston that she will give the hotel back to him. Before leaving, the adjudicator asks Winston what they're going to do with John. Oh, he has to die. Sorry, Jonathan. Winston pulls out his gun and starts shooting John, causing him to fall from the roof to the ground. The adjudicator praises Winston, saying good work, and then leaves. Before getting in her car, she checks the place where John fell, but John is not there. She returns to Winston and informs him about John's missing body, saying that if John is alive, he will be a great danger to them. John's pit bull runs from the Continental and reaches a homeless man who is taking John's injured body from the underground tunnels. They finally reach the Bowery. The Bowery King saves John because he wants revenge on the high table. Bowery King asks John if he is in severe anger, just like him. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for more amazing videos. See you next time.